like science.
I like science.
I like science.
Hey,
Okay.
Science.
how's it going, everybody? Hope you've been fighting fascism and fucking ice.
I hear it's a full-time job.
Yeah, so welcome to Shield Modulation. I am one host. I'm Brandy.
I'm Dave.
Dave is the other host.
I
We are
am.
equal in our hosting abilities. So
Yes,
there's
this is a co-op.
it is a co-op. It is not a dictatorship. Uh,
It's a commune.
it is a commune, and we commune very well together, don't we, darling?
Yep. A worker-owned enterprise.
Yes. Yes,
Not that
indeed.
we make any money off of it.
No, it's not about the money. It's about the fun.
Yep.
We do this because it's fun.
Yeah, there's no money coming in. There's no
Yeah.
Patreon. There's no ads.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that anyone would donate to a Patreon for us.
For
because
this?
it's just-
Yeah. I mean,
I
what
don't
would we
know.
do for bonus episodes?
I don't know. Cover something else that
Yeah.
wasn't Star Trek. Just for shits and giggles.
Babylon
Uh,
5 because of the Deep
yeah,
Space Nine
Babylon
connection.
5. Yeah, Babylon 5. I would be up for that. The
Yeah.
Patreon rewards Babylon 5 podcast. That's
Mhm.
cool. Good idea. Don't get me started. Okay, so
Or just anything with one of the cast members in it. So I could do
yeah,
like Excalibur because it has Patrick Stewart in it.
that's
Though
true.
that's weird because there's a sexual assault scene with the daughter of the director.
Ugh.
So he directed his daughter through a sexual assault scene.
Uh,
That's weird.
gross. If
Yes.
we're gonna go with Patrick Stewart, I would say Dune. That would be way more fun.
Dune would be awesome. Yeah, if we went Patrick Stewart, ooh, Green Room, though that might be too intense for you.
Yeah,
And
I
it has
don't like
Nazis in it.
intense. No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Oh, that has a double Star Trek thing because our most recent Chekhov is in that.
Oh,
Yeltsin, what's his first name?
Yelchin, Anton
Yelchin.
Yelchin.
Anton Yelchin. Yeah, he's the lead in that.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. I don't like that kind of intensity. It's not for me.
Right.
It's not something I enjoy. Before we go on, again, thank you every week to Dan Gunther for letting us share his spreadsheet. And
Like chlamydia.
yeah, like chlamydia. No, we don't. He only spread it to us, as far as I
Right.
know. You better not be cheating on us, Dan.
Mhm.
And yeah, so it's because of his extensively intricate and what I can't remember the word I was going to
Thorough?
use. Thorough. Thank you. That's a great
Yep.
word for it. Thorough.
Henry David. Do our own little Cockney slang. When something's thorough, we'll just say it's a Henry David.
There we go. That's a Henry David.
Yep. You did a real Henry David job on that. It's like, what? Thorough. Oh, why
God,
not just say that?
I'm gonna
Apples
start
and
doing
pears, dog and bone.
I'm gonna be so pretentious from now on. Anyway, his dedication to making a very concise list of all of the episodes and movies and shorts of Star Trek is it's impressive, and it's lovely that he lets us borrow that. So thank you, Dan and Patrick. Glad you're still alive, still in Minnesota,
Yep.
doing his best to stay alive because fascism.
Yeah, leave
And
Minnesota alone. It's home to Prince.
yeah, no shit, man.
Yeah.
Back off. Can you imagine if Prince was still here?
Oh, hell yeah.
What he'd be doing right now
Mm-hmm.
to ice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
He'd
Ah,
mesmerize him with his guitar playing.
yep, he's good at that. He was very good at that. He went too young. He like
Yep.
George Michael. He went too young. Too
He'd
young.
summon a purple rain and have doves cry on them.
That's a little on the nose.
Yeah.
All right, then. Are you ready for us to cover this
Are
episode?
you ready?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Okay, you cut out with your rumble. You're still cutting out with your rumble.
I wasn't even doing it that loud.
No. Oh, Zoom's a prude.
Yeah. Oh, what is it telling me? Set up professional audio and audio settings. What the what? I don't even know what that's asking for. Whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Fuck you, Audacity. Not Audacity. Fuck you, Zoom. And your
Yeah,
audio
what did
settings.
Audacity do wrong? Other than crash every once in a while.
For me, it crashes every time. It never opens on the first try for me.
Huh. So
Never.
since I've updated it brings up a little message that I could have it skip each time, and that's about it. But I
Yeah.
haven't chosen for it to skip, so
Yeah.
that's my fault.
Anyway.
Not
So
that I
yeah.
use Audacity much anymore.
Yeah, I don't really have much
Oh, I guess I do
Call
to
Duty
edit
set.
this. What am I
Oh,
thinking?
yeah, you're editing this with that.
Yeah, I just don't record in Audacity. I just do my
Yeah.
editing in Audacity.
That's because recording in Audacity can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And editing in Audacity is far smoother.
Mm-hmm.
So, in case you guys have forgotten, this week we are talking about Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 5, Through the Lens of Time.
Which we've already talked about on another show.
We have. And it's honestly, it was last season. And at the same time, it seems like so long ago. Isn't that weird?
Really, this seems kind of recent to me. So maybe
Yeah.
that's a different aspect on our lives.
Yeah. I guess it just felt so long ago for me.
Hmm.
Or maybe I'm incorrect. This is season 3. Didn't we have season 4? I don't even know anymore. I've lost my mind. Everyone, I've lost my mind. I'm very sorry.
Well, we better figure this out because we put the season and episode number in our show titles.
Well, no, this episode is season 3, episode 5, but
Right.
I'm trying to remember if I'm pretty sure, did we? No, I'm right. This is season 3 because it just I can't. It just is. There's a lot that happens in this season, and it feels like it
Right.
happened in another season.
I see what you mean.
The stuff that I'm thinking about, that toward the ends of the season, it felt like, yeah. Anyway,
We're a spoiler zone podcast anyway, because we're so out of order. It really, I mean, if we were to do spoilers on anything, it would be ridiculous because
we can't do
we
it.
might come to the finale episode of a season at any moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
We can't do it. So yeah, through the lens of time.
Through the lens of time.
The first thing I wrote down, because we of course have a recap to remind us of things that have happened up to this point. And the first thing I wrote down is, oh yeah, the documentary. That's because Beto is there.
With Beto.
And
which is short for Roberto.
He is he's causing trouble. not really trying to cause trouble, but he's like filming meetings that really shouldn't be filmed and whatnot.
I mean, how much is he filming and how much is the camera doing it itself?
Yeah.
Because it seems as a director of a documentary, he's really not putting that much input in. He's just putting his little drones out there and they're doing the work because apparently they can register nonverbal cues on people. And so it picks up on facial micro expressions, and that's how the camera determines what to shoot.
Yeah, that
like
does. It seems like
completely taking the creativity and the instinct away from the filmmaker and putting it in the camera. This is AI slop, is what he's producing.
Oh dear. Oh my. So yeah, Corby's back. Welcome back, Corby.
And his Irish accent and his dark hair and his stubble
and his
tallness.
Extreme tallness and his dark eyes, and just he's a handsome man. I mean, I get it, Christine. I really do. But of course, at this point, Spock and La'an are becoming friendlier, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, they're knocking boots.
They're we don't know that they're knocking
tango.
I don't know that they're knocking boots yet.
Bumping uglies.
But probably.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they are. There's ways that La'an talks about Spock in this that is like a no strings attached thing, which means they're friends with benefits.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They say that, but is that really how it is?
Oh, Spock's her fuck buddy. He's totally her fuckboy. That's just what's going on.
Right now, that's what's going on.
Yeah, but yeah, they'll
there's more
develop a
to it
little
later on.
deeper
Yeah.
relationship than that. And Spock's just going through the crew at this point. I mean, HR should get involved.
Oh, come on.
I mean, he's fraternizing with everybody.
No,
Well,
he is
especially if you
not.
go across the timelines. He's getting with Uhura. He's getting with Chapel. He's getting with Lon. Who knows
When
who else
What
he's
are you
dipping his
talking
wick.
about with Uhura? What?
I'm
What
talking
is
about
that?
across timelines.
Okay. But again, when was that?
He gets with Uhura in the
Oh,
Kelvin
fuck.
universe.
The Kelvin. Well, I don't count that.
Okay.
I
Of
don't
course you
count
wouldn't
that.
count the Kelvin universe. I
Well, no,
barely
it's not
count
that
the
I
Kelvin
would
universe.
it's not that I wouldn't count the Kelvin universe. I don't care for the Kelvin universe for the most part, but
Yep.
it is still part of Star Trek. But I'm talking about our, our current timeline. I'm not talking about
Right.
alternate realities.
Right.
I'm talking specifically about this timeline. And in this timeline, as far as we know, he's only had three partners. One was his fiance, whose name I have forgotten.
T'Pring!
T'Pring, there it is.
Yeah, he knocks
Two,
boots with T'Pring too.
yeah. Two was Chapel,
Yep.
and three, La'an. Now,
Yep.
I don't know if they're actually knocking boots yet, but it kind of seems like maybe.
Oh yeah. I mean, their dancing isn't just vertical, it's horizontal too, so
Well, yeah, that's very clear later in the season,
yeah.
but without being obnoxious about it. So, but yeah,
He's getting
okay.
his
I
little
can't
Spock
read my
wet.
stuff. God. So yeah, and Corby's freaking out about the mission because
Yep, he's being
Starfleet's
paranoid and
involved.
weird
He's being paranoid
about
and
it.
weird because the Starfleet and they're gonna interfere and blah blah blah. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, there are safeguards that need to be put in place so that everybody who goes in comes out. And when
Yep.
you ignore that, then people die.
Men would rather go to an interdimensional prison than get therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Because this guy's hang-ups about death.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, it's just natural. Read some Sartre or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Get all existential in that and just deal with it. You're gonna die.
Yeah, we're all gonna die.
We're
Every
all
one of
gonna
us.
die. Yep.
Every one of us. Now, whether there's something beyond this mortal coil or not, I don't know.
Yep.
There's no evidence to say for certainty.
Would
And
you want to suffer the burden of eternity, really?
well, that just depends. The thing is that there are so many unknown variables to
Hmm.
eternity. Okay. So what if I die, right? And
Uh-huh.
my spirit leaves my body, and now I can do something else. I can do whatever I want. Or maybe I'm just herded into another body. Maybe I'm an animal next time. That's the thing. We have no idea about any of this shit.
Ah, reincarnation. Is the thing about infinity is that it's infinite.
Yeah.
So you have, let's say you have infinite numbers, infinite whole numbers, and you can take your even infinite numbers only, and it's the same amount of numbers
Mm-hmm.
because they'll match up with, it's fascinating because you can
Mm-hmm.
always add one or two to a number.
Yep.
And yeah, and it goes in both ways. You could have an infinite number of negative numbers, an infinite number of positive numbers, infinite number of prime numbers going backwards or forwards, and it's the same amount as the infinite whole numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It blows your fucking mind.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that our minds are
Yeah.
not advanced enough to
Yeah.
process infinity.
And imagine your consciousness living in that infinite space.
I can't because again, it's
Hmm.
infinity, and
Yeah.
we don't have the brain power to actually tap into that. So
And is there such thing as a soul? And what is the distinction between the mind and the soul? And if your mind gets altered, does your soul get altered too? Is your
yeah,
soul consciousness? And if so, is it dependent on your physical mind? Is it dependent on the brain?
Well, the one thing that I do know, as far as our laws of physics, is energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change forms.
Right. Which is usually
So,
into heat, which is
yeah,
why in a
not
closed
always.
system you have heat death. Because most chemical reactions, most physical reactions produce heat.
Hmm.
So yeah,
That's as far as we know.
right. In a
So,
closed system.
yeah. So, who's to say that we are not beings of energy?
Well, we partly are. We
So,
have
there you
chemical
go.
reactions that produce energy. We have electricity that fires neurons, which is what produces consciousness
Yeah. So, it is entirely possible that we could persist beyond this particular mortal coil
as energy.
as energy.
Okay.
Just saying. It's a possibility. I'm not saying it is. I'm just
Right.
saying it's a possibility. And whatever happens, whatever happens happens. And we won't know until we die. So let's stop talking about that anyway.
No, it's
So
just
yeah,
yeah.
so
Our
Corby is being a dick, and
yeah,
La'an and Spock are not coming down with the landing party. Spock has decided to remain on the ship, and I'm sure it's because he does not want to see Christine and Corby together. Because despite it being over, that doesn't mean those feelings are gone. Those
right. It's
feelings,
kind of hard to be around your ex, and that's
yes,
something about having. I mean, on a starship, you only have limited options because you're gonna probably start a relationship
yeah.
sometime or another on a starship because it's like a floating city,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also your workplace. And
Yep.
so, if you're fraternizing with a fellow crew member, what happens when the relationship is over? Well, hopefully you're mature enough just to move on, but
Well,
sometimes
and
that's not the case and you hold a torch for somebody. Because Christine obviously still has jealousy towards Spock because, his relationship with Lon and he bounced back so quickly, and she probably didn't expect that.
mhm,
She falls in love with her
teacher basically,
instructor, I guess, which is kind
her
of
mentor,
gross.
yeah,
Yeah,
her
there's something about the power gap there that's gross. Reminds me of this college professor I had who was actually in charge of the honor society, which was weird, but he would sleep with students.
oh yeah.
And so that's really gross.
Hmm. Well, show me a college campus that does not have at least one teacher who is
Yeah.
sleeping with the students, and I will show you an anomaly because it
Yeah.
happens at every fucking school.
Reminds me of Happy Death Day.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a movie. Oof.
Yep. And sleeping with her teacher and realizing, this is really stupid. Why am I doing this?
Yeah. Well, it takes her repeating the
Yeah,
experience a
repeating
few
her
times before
mistakes
she really
daily.
figures out, oh my God.
Yeah.
So it's a miracle she lived.
Yep.
Let's be honest. If you haven't seen Happy Death Day, I do recommend it.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a good movie. So and it gives you some oh, what am I trying to say? Red herrings on the way to
Oh
figuring out
yeah,
who
there's
is the actual
plenty of
person.
people to suspect for
Yeah.
being the killer.
I pegged the one pretty early on.
Right.
Um, but I kept quiet because I wasn't 100% sure. But as
Right.
we got closer and closer to the end of the movie, I'm like, it's that
Yeah.
person.
Yep.
It's that person.
And it's got a
And
sci-fi quality to it too, so,
yes, yes.
dealing
It's
with time travel.
it's a good horror movie. It's kind of it's scary and it's funny. And
Yep.
that is a hard balance to strike.
Hmm.
So you can take that with you. Um anyway, it's funny because they were talking about the abilities of all of the people involved, and I can't remember who says what, but somebody says, it's taking this from you and this from you and Spock's brain, and I just started giggling
Spock's brain.
inside my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, just started giggling inside my head. So we are going to Vadia 9. And this is not a Federation planet, but they have been allowed there to excavate these ruins. And the only thing that they can see above ground is what looks like a smokestack that's blowing smoke, but not really blowing smoke. It's just got this sort of
Oh.
cloud
Yeah,
hanging
it's like
over
an orb
it.
with fog around it. It's like a
Yeah.
liquid orb with fog around it, and it's kind of eerie.
Yeah, it's not going up into the sky. It's just
Nope.
hanging there.
Yep.
Just hanging there. So,
And we meet a representative of the species of this planet, a macaroon.
yeah. The actually, and everybody knows this. Have you seen the episode? It's the macaroon.
Right.
Macaroon is what they're going to be from now on.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Najal is the representative that's there.
Yep.
And
It looks like he's over their shit this whole time.
yep, yep,
It's like I sat and make up for this.
yeah, pretty much. There, there are so many funny things you said while we were watching this.
Oh yeah. Well,
Um,
when they all beam down to the planet's surface and you're watching them walk and they're in these bottoms that have been painted on, it's like Starfleet issued yoga pants. Like all of them. You see their shapely legs and their buttocks. I mean, even the
yeah,
men.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's equal opportunity
Yep. You get
exploitation.
Spock's butt in this too, I guess.
Oh God, you get so much good Spock butt in this. Just Spock everything. I mean, it doesn't matter what angle you come at him from. He's just a
Yep.
glorious being. Um, yeah, and one thing that really actually grossed me out a little
Uh-huh.
bit was when they're in that meeting and they finish the meeting and Pelia starts flirting with Beto. Just like,
Hmm.
no,
It's like, hey, you
absolutely
want to
not.
go down to engineering and I'll show you a few things?
Yeah, no.
Yep.
And
Then she
and
keeps playing
this
up to the camera different things and
hmm
yeah. And of course
yeah,
Pike
she's
getting annoyed.
yeah, of course. and and that's understandable why Pike is getting annoyed. Also we have a new guy. We have Gamble, who's been working
Gamble.
on the ship for the last 6 months, not that we've seen him up until now. And he is my favorite new character,
Hmm.
and we hardly got to have him.
We even get a
Just
log from him.
yeah, we get a log from him, and he's just like he's like an excitable puppy, and he's just so full of joy and innocence and also intelligence, and he just wants to serve. He just wants to
Hmm?
make a difference. And yeah, that doesn't go so well for him. So yeah, so they go digging up the past, and that is a bad idea. And
We get some flirting between Beto and Uhura.
yeah, probably that's not gonna go well either later in the season, which we
Mm,
know about in one of my most hated episodes of Star Trek ever, Four and a
right.
Half Vulcans. So the Enterprise is there to basically excavate very quickly this particular whatever it is. And so they use deflector beams and they
Hmm.
basically blow off the rock face that's
Yeah,
hiding this thing.
it reminds me of a lot of the temples that you could see carved into mountains and cliff sides. And we
Yeah.
got the one from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the Kajna that is in Petra. It's
Yes.
kind of a tall temple building.
It is, but it's not a temple.
Yeah, this
It's
isn't
it,
a temple, yeah,
yeah.
but it
Well, no,
reminds
no,
me
no.
of that.
Yeah, but I mean that building isn't a
Oh,
temple.
right.
It is you go inside it and it's like just one small room. It's not a temple.
Ah,
There's no artifacts in there,
or
nothing like
is
that.
it? Or is there a hidden room?
Dave, do you think they haven't been in there? Do you think that archaeologists haven't been in there a million times to see if
It's kind
there's
of funny
anything
to
else?
decorate the entire outside of a thing for like one room inside. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
that's just a closet.
I'm feeling like that it was something that was started and then something happened and it was never finished,
Ah,
and we may never know why. Because there's just no evidence of anything in there. There's
they
just
probably
nothing.
thought, hey, we're digging into sandstone. That's probably not the best thing because this is all going to collapse on us.
Yeah. So and this big palace-looking structure is now visible that they've
Yep.
dug into with the deflector beams. And it is seriously one of the better virtual things that they've had in this season
It
because
reminds me of the one from Discovery where
yes.
it's portals to different worlds.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. But just the actual look of the, well, it's a prison. We all know it's a prison now. If you haven't seen this episode, then that's your
And it's a
fault.
prison.
So it's definitely a prison. And that's kind of the thing I felt the first time. I'm like, that is seems foreboding to me. That doesn't seem like a place centered on wealth or culture or knowledge or
I don't
anything
know.
like
It's
that.
kind of library-esque
Sort of, but it's
because it looks like there's a lot of storage areas, but then you realize it's storing these little Pokeballs full of souls
mhm,
and not books or knowledge of any kind.
yeah. I just feel like as a general rule, libraries aren't that ostentatious, but it's still it's a beautiful special effect. It's a beautiful visual effect. That's the word I was looking for, visual effect.
Right.
And it's impressive. And they obviously had to build some of the set because when they actually get up to the structure, it is clear that that is an actual physical door that they go through.
Right.
And this is where the stupidness begins. So, because they can translate the language, and this thing says basically the thing says you have to give your blood freely. And
Yep.
so Christine just goes right up to it, sticks her finger under it, lets it get pricked,
Uh-huh.
and then drops the blood on the little panel below. And oh, the door is open. That is the stupidest thing you could possibly do as an archaeologist.
What some girls won't do for their boyfriends.
I know, right? It's like, just give him head for fuck's sake. Don't go in it. Sorry.
With their
Just,
mismatched hair and eyebrows.
yeah, it's just, carpet doesn't match the drapes, but that doesn't mind. That I
Yeah.
don't care about that. But yeah, it just seems to me, and I think that she did it for Corby because he's so gung ho to get in there.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, yeah, she should have done something
Yeah,
else.
well, yeah, I'm
But
sure.
but
What you
yeah.
won't do for a necklace.
Yeah. So now the doors open and of course they're going to go in, but when they get a look inside, they realize, "Oh, we're going to need more people." And that's when Spock and La'an get sent down.
Yep.
And
And Spock becomes the person in charge because he's the chief science officer.
yes, he is. And it's a good thing that he's there because he has the cool head and Corby does
Mm-hmm.
not.
Nope.
Corby does not have a cool head. And
Insert Irish
Christine
joke here.
uh anyway, so uh Starfleet is basically with negotiating with the Macroon. They're like, no, you can't have more people in there. And he manages to get two more people in there. So when La'an and Spock beams down, La'an tells them, there's not more than us coming down. They
Right.
won't let us have more people. So yeah,
So
blood
we
giving
get,
people, yeah.
well, we get Gamble messing around with some dead guys that they find that
Yeah,
have
there's some.
starved to death.
Yeah, they're definitely desiccated and little more than dust being barely held together by clothing that's
Yep.
almost, disintegrated as well.
And they find one
And
of those lithid tiles
yeah, one of those
from
elithid
Baldur's
tiles.
Gate 3,
Yep. If it does look very much like that.
Yeah, so
The
they
funny thing
find
is
one of
that
those.
yeah, when we were watching this today, I was looking at that going, what does that remind me of? Oh yeah, elithids.
Yep.
I didn't write that down or anything like that because it
And
really
then
didn't really
Gamble
matter.
spots the Pokeball and picks it up.
Yeah. Now the thing is that once they're in the building, they cannot contact Enterprise. They can
Nope,
receive no transmissions whatsoever. They
they're in a
cannot
dead zone.
transport out. And so while they're in there, whatever happens in there, there's no
Stays
help
in
coming.
there,
Yeah.
like Vegas.
Well, this would have been a good time. No, I'm just kidding. So, And I wrote down here, if only they'd listen to Spock.
Isn't that always the way? Just
Yep.
listen to Spock. He
Yeah.
knows what's up.
And he was like, don't do this. Don't go in there. Don't, first of all, don't get your finger pricked. She does it anyway. Don't go in there. They do it anyway.
Protocol states that we should all go outside and beam the ship and tell them what's up.
Yeah. So, and here's the first rule of going into a building like this, something that you don't know anything about, something that's been sealed up for who knows, hundreds of thousands of years, maybe a million years. We don't know. You don't go around touching everything. You
Mhm.
don't pick anything up. Just walking in there, you're lucky you're not dead. And yet, our sweet, beautiful Gamble does the stupidest thing possible by
Yep.
picking up that Pokeball.
Yep. That
And
Gotchaman prize.
yeah, it just basically it kind of exploded in his face
Yep.
and his eyes were gone. But
Yeah. New Trek and the eye violence. It strikes
yeah,
again.
what's with the eye violence? Stop it.
Yeah. It's like somebody in the writer's room has got like a hard on for eye violence.
I guess so. Well, the interesting thing is that the first time we watched this, I was devastated. And then I was when he's like, "Oh, he's still alive." I thought, "Oh, he can be saved." But the minute he's back on Enterprise and Mbenga is treating him, I'm like, "No, Gamble's gone.
Well, yeah, when you
Gamble's
find out
gone."
he's brain dead.
Well, that's a while later.
Yeah.
But just in this early part, the first time we watched it, I'm like, "Oh no, 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 he's gone.
You
He
put
was
a
gone the
Geordie
minute he
visor on
touched
him
that thing."
and
Jordy Visor.
try to restore his eyes, and it's just not working. They're not regenerating.
They won't regenerate, yeah. But it takes a while for this to happen. And Mbenga, of course, is feeling guilty because he allowed
Yep.
Ransom, not Ransom. Why do I keep saying Ransom? Gamble to go down. And
Yep.
he was so excited. He was so excited. And now he's dead. Now he's dead. And something
Is
else
that
is
that
using
scene
his
from
body.
Saved by the Bell? So excited. I'm so excited. I'm so dead. Uh, yeah, the Mbenga's guilt is that with Christine coming back, he didn't need Gamble on anymore and could have just let him go and transfer him over to another ship, but he kept him on because
Mhm.
he's fond of the boy, as he puts it.
And he's good at his job.
And he's good at his job. And, also he pushed for this away mission because, Gamble wanted to get out into the field and learn some things. And
Mhm.
so it's like a double whammy of this
Yeah.
not having to happen.
Yeah. And this actor whose name I forgot to write down, I'm so sorry.
Want me to find
He
it?
yeah, find it for me, please, because I really would like to give him his due credit.
Gamble, Strange New Worlds. Let's see. Played. Okay, I was trying to find where it tells me who plays him. I'm getting mostly stories. Okay, how about cast or actor? Why won't anybody tell me who he is played by? Chris Myers
Chris Myers. Okay, Chris Myers. Love
as
you,
Ensign
dude.
Gamble.
Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. What a talent
Hmm.
this young man is.
Well, you could see later on why they got him is because he can play the sweet, innocent, lovable, we want him to be a permanent cast member
Hmm.
guy. And then when he takes a turn for the sinister, he's downright scary.
He's horrifying.
And they needed somebody with that range that could play both sides of that coin. And he does so magnificently.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And this guy is young. I mean,
Yep. Oh, this guy's career, it's
he's
like,
already, it's
yeah,
just wow. He's got the skills. He's got the skills to go very far.
to
He
pay the
is,
bills.
he's got the skills to pay the bills.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
AI actor
so
is going to be able to do this.
no, never in a million years. AI can't even actually sound like a true human. I can spot an AI voice
Oh,
from
yeah,
a mile
like
away.
these YouTube videos that have some announcer over them, and you're like, that's
Mm.
AI.
Yeah,
It's
and
just inhuman,
the way that you can tell is that there are no breaths ever.
right?
There are no breaths. It's just one constant sound.
Yeah, barrage of language,
And real people breathe. They have to breathe to talk.
or
So,
they die.
yeah. So, and this is where we come into my fear of eye violence. And so when when this happens to Ransom, and even when he's back on the ship and I can't
Ransom.
see the gone,
Gamble?
I keep doing that. Why do I do that? I don't know. Stop, Brandy. Gamble, 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 gamble,
Gamble
gamble,
because he takes
gamble.
a risk by going down on this away
Yes.
mission.
He's risky
Yep.
gamble. Okay.
Gamble.
So gamble. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. My brain sometimes just doesn't work right. And
That's
I'm
good.
sure a lot of you can commiserate. So gamble, even when he's in the chair and there's the visor over his eyes, I'm still like super uncomfortable with the
Yep.
eye violence. Just ugh. I've had so many problems with my eyes over the years,
Mm,
and this idea of eye violence, it freaks me out because I already can hardly see anything without my glasses, and even
yeah.
with my glasses, it's still my vision is still degenerating, because I was just only
Right.
nearsighted. Now I'm also farsighted, and if you wonder how that can be true, I don't know. I don't know how you can be nearsighted and farsighted at the same time, but here I am.
hmm
So I
Stuck in
can
the
see
middle
things.
again.
Yeah, I basically can see things in the middle distance, but I still have to be
Oh.
wearing glasses or contacts to see into the middle distance. It's so fucking weird. So,
So I'm nearsighted and astigmatism. When I was probably 4 or 5 years old, I had cement thrown in my eyes by a cousin.
asshole.
It was a lady cousin, but still, asshole
Still an
is a
asshole.
gender neutral term. Um, yeah, so I've
Yeah.
had eye violence scenarios as well.
Yeah. And just the horrors of contact lenses when I was
Hmm.
growing up, because basically when I was growing up, there were hard contact lenses,
Yep.
and then suddenly they were developing these gas permeable contact lenses, which allowed some, oxygen to pass through, but they felt like having rock chips in my eyes.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I still had those up until, I mean, into our first few years of marriage. And then suddenly appeared on the scene toric lenses. And guess what? Toric lenses also hurt my eyes because they're
Mm,
too thick. Yes, they're soft lenses, but I am constantly aware of them. And the next time that I get contact lenses, I'm going to say, no, I do not want the toric. Can you please just put this prescription in regular lenses? Because
right.
and they'll be like, well, you can't see as well. I can't see well with the toric lenses. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I will take the comfort. Thank you.
Yes.
Anyway, fucking ophthalmologists. I swear to God, they're all dicks. Anyway, basically, they get locked in. Okay, they
Yep.
get locked in. They managed to get Gamble out, which is the last time they're going to get out of here without some great deduction. So and I wrote down, guess you shouldn't touch what you don't understand.
Nope, you should not. Look, but
Just
do not touch. This is a
stay put.
museum.
Just stay put where you are. Just don't touch anything. And the music, as far as suggesting that Gamble isn't who he is anymore, is
Uh-huh.
is subtle enough, but still sinister,
You almost expect like John Carpenter's Halloween to come up, especially when it does the sit-up thing. It's
Yep.
like Michael Myers just uh,
Yeah. And of course, as you said, they find out that Gamble is, yeah, Gamble is brain dead.
brain dead.
Brain dead. And also, we've got our Macroon guy
Yep.
who realizes what this is, because he hears the word Vesda and he knows
Mhm.
that word. And he's like, oh shit, we gotta get out, we gotta get out. And he just starts running for the entrance and is immediately obliterated.
He gets scanned and then zapped and
Yep.
yeah, disintegrated,
Yeah. So
disrupted.
and then basically a red light, like the door slams shut. Red
Uh-huh.
lights are never good, never good, and they're locked in. So
You know why red lights aren't good?
mm.
because it's the color of blood.
blood.
That's why we use red as a warning or stop sign.
Yeah. So bye-bye, Najal.
Yep. And then this Vesda, Hura translates it as kind of a stranger, evil. It's actually plural, so evils.
So the Vesta is basically the name of the race, if you will.
Right.
And yeah, looking into one of those orbs, I think it was Spock who looked into one of the
Uh-huh.
orbs, and he was seeing all of the little lights inside it, and then a big monster with a face like kind of like a death claw.
Hmm.
Just it snaps at him, but it's trapped in the orb. So
Was it that, or was it his memory of the experience of the Gorn that he
no.
had from Batel? Because the Gorn and the Vesda apparently were or are these mortal enemies.
Hmm. Well, in any case, he that's what he saw in
Yeah,
the orb. He saw what Avezda actually looks like.
right.
So I wrote down cunning bastards next to their name. So back on Enterprise, they're having a meetup to figure out what they're going to do. Pelia says she has the heebie-jeebies. She doesn't have a better word for it,
Oh,
but that's she's freaked. She's freaked for sure.
yeah, she is.
And yeah, so she knows it's really bad. And Benga's no dummy, and he knows that Ransom isn't. God damn it, that Gamble isn't
Gamble.
Gamble. I don't know why I keep
Procter and
doing that.
Gamble.
Procter and Gamble. Oh, fucking hell, my brain. So he's no dummy. He knows that Gamble is not Gamble, and Gamble's body has killed like 3 people now.
Yep.
So, but I do love the showdown between Gamble and Battelle when Battelle is just
Yep.
coming into, she's got a headache and she can't get rid of it. And then she looks at Gamble and goes, "You."
Yep.
And then they have a massive dust up in sickbay there.
Yeah, they have one of these fights that it's kind of the way they do fight scenes now, especially since the Marvel movies, is their maximum effort fights,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't particularly care for because I like minimum effort stuff. I like the Jason Statham stuff that's like no nonsense.
Yeah. I
And so there's a lot of like posturing and pausing between fight scenes. And if you talk to an actual fighter that says, "Oh no, you want to be in constant motion," there's none of this stopping to pose that you get in movies where they do like the 3-point landing thing and then go back into fighting, the Black Widow style of fighting.
mm-hmm.
It's made for cinema and for entertainment, but it's not made for practical combat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think when you're getting thrown over a bio bed and getting
Yeah.
back up on your feet, that's understandable. It's like you don't come out of that swinging, your opponent's 10 feet away. So,
Hmm.
that
I don't
didn't
know if you
actually
fought
bother
like
me.
capoeira style, you could incorporate it into your moves.
Well, I'm sorry Battelle didn't know capoeira.
Okay.
It's good points. If you don't know what capoeira is, look it up because it's
Yeah.
amazing to watch.
South American martial art. It's now the national sport of Brazil. It used to be outlawed because it was created by slaves in Brazil, African slaves, and could be disguised as a dance. Very acrobatic, very beautiful. We did improv with a Brazilian who knew capoeira, and they actually did a little bit of it at her wedding.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
Yep.
Amazing
Which is
stuff.
funny to see her do in her wedding dress, but she did.
Hey, you know what?
Yep.
If you can do it, do it. And if she can
Hmm.
do it in a wedding dress, more power to her.
Yep. Yep.
So, um, excuse me. So they have the fight.
Fight, fight,
Gamble
fight,
gets
fight, fight, fight,
away,
fight, fight.
and later on, Battelle is trying to explain to Pike what happened. And this is the first hint that Battelle is not going to last past this season, but we don't
Right.
know what exactly she's turning into yet. Because she's not technically turning into a Gorn. She
Nope.
has Gorn instincts, she has some Gorn abilities, but she's not a Gorn.
She's got a lot going on
She
because she's
does
got
have a lot
Una
going on.
blood in her. She's got Gorn DNA in her. She's got some stuff from Spock going on in
Yeah,
her
some mental
brain.
stuff up in there.
So yeah, she's got little touches of all kinds of things. I think they've done other experiments on her too, trying to
Mm.
splice in because they've got that flower
Mm-hmm.
that they tried to use on her that they got from the zombie planet, the
Well, and
Kinfore planet.
yeah, that makes me smile every time.
Hmm.
And the thing about that is that when we get to the season finale, all of those things were needed
Yep.
for the path for her to become what she becomes, which is the beholder.
Yeah, it's like the rings from Captain Planet, you know. She gets
Hmm.
all six of those together,
Yeah. And
or the Zords to
yeah,
become like,
or all the cats to form Voltron or
yeah, that too. It's like Power Rangers, that's what I was thinking of.
yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Power Rangers and
And
the
Voltron,
thing is
very
the
similar.
Japanese when they do stuff like this, team fighters, they
Hmm.
always combine into something.
Yeah,
It's like
combine the two, giant
always.
robot.
And I like giant robots, so I am
Yep.
not complaining about that. So, which is why when there were suddenly Gundams, I'm like, wait, there's only one guy in there. What?
One tiny guy in this giant robot.
I do love giant robots, though.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
Gundam Wing.
Gundam Wing. That's such a great series. Anyway, Beto's freaking out, and Uhura is being very calming with him.
Yep.
And he's like, "Well, we're all alone." And she's like, "We're not alone." That's actually the truth because they are all in the same room. They just are in different times in the same room.
Okay, so at this moment they're reduced to six, right?
Yep,
Which is the ideal D&D party. So who's
absolutely.
who?
Hmm. Um, Spock is the paladin.
Oh, that's good. That's a good pull.
Um,
Okay, Lon's the fighter.
La'an's the fighter, yes.
Chapel's the cleric because she's the
Oh,
healer.
perfect. Corby's the barbarian.
Barbarian. I'd say ranger
Ranger could work
because
too.
he's
He's a
like an
ranger barbarian.
archaeologist. Ranger barbarian dual class.
Yeah,
Interesting.
because
Beto?
he very just wants to break through and just do stuff.
Yeah.
And
Beto's the
just
chronicler.
yeah,
So he's the bard.
he's the bard.
And then we have Ahura, who's the rogue because she's into communications.
Yeah, I would say rogue, yeah.
Okay. All right. That satisfies me.
Yeah. But
Anyhow,
yeah,
just yeah.
because Spock has to be the paladin. There's nothing else that would fit
Yes.
him as
Oh
well.
yeah. It's all about rules.
Yep.
Like these are the rules that we follow, and if we don't, I can't be a paladin anymore.
Yeah.
Or I have to become an oathbreaker.
Well, and Spock can do that. He
Yeah,
could absolutely still remain a paladin but be an oathbreaker.
right.
So, anyway, uh, Spock discovers he has an injury that he doesn't remember getting, and it's on his
Right.
hand. It's on his
His
right
green
hand.
blood, which is a nice touch. They
Yes, well
remembered.
done. Well done. He does have green blood, despite the fact that he's half human. He does have green blood. And La'an uh finally pegs this place as a prison. And they've they discovered that the beholder, which is what they're calling it, is actually that was the translation, is in some ways giving off a
It's a
life sign,
yeah.
but it is not. It's like it's in flux.
It's a
So
living being in flux and stasis at the same time.
yep, which is it breaks my brain, and
Yep.
that's because we're dealing with entities that are beyond our comprehension, which is, that's part of the fun of Star Trek is discovering new life and new civilizations, or in this case,
Right.
fucking bastards who want to destroy the universe. So,
And this is a peculiar looking thing, the beholder.
mhm.
It almost looks like a unicorn statue, except it has like crystalline moss growing off of it.
Yeah, it's just such a weird design. I think it really fits what the premise is of this being, is
Right.
that it's so alien and so different. It follows no specific form that can be attributed to any specific race. It is just something completely unique.
Yeah.
And that's impressive. I don't know who designed that, but well done to you because it is the weirdest thing.
It
I've
is
seen
very
in
weird.
Star Trek. I've seen some weird things in Star Trek, but this one, I just have I have nothing that I can attribute to that makes it make sense. Which is that's why it's there. It's a thing in flux. It's living in different timelines at the same time, different
Yep.
dimensions at the same time. And my brain breaks. And I love we get an Alice in Wonderland reference in this from
Oh
Spock
yeah,
that
Spock.
says curiouser and curiouser, and that just made me smile.
Isn't that also a callback to his why did I just forget the name of the actual thing? Dyslexia.
Mm,
That he would read Alice in Wonderland because the nonsense of the novel made sense to him because of the way his brain worked and how he could access numbers and letters and stuff was different. And
hmm
that's how Michael Burnham was able to track him, I guess, is because the specific way in which he was communicating because his brain had been broken by the Red Angel essentially.
No, his brain wasn't broken by the Red Angel. His dyslexia allowed him to be able to contact the Red Angel, to
Right.
actually mind meld with the Red Angel.
But yeah, he
And
was institutionalized for some reason and he was behaving oddly. So,
well,
there were
he wasn't institutionalized. He went there himself.
all right.
He wasn't forced there. But when he tried to leave, they are all like, "No, you're not
Yeah,
leaving." And he's like,
right.
actually I am."
Yeah, if
And
I
neck
volunteer,
pinch.
I can leave as a volunteer. That's the way
Yeah.
that should work. You
And
don't permanently institutionalize me if I volunteer to go there.
that's the section 31 problem right
Yeah.
there. So yeah. Um when Battelle is talking to Pike, she's talking about how she didn't know what came over her. It's just that she saw this thing and she wanted to exterminate it.
Yep.
Not just kill it, exterminate it.
Exterminate it.
Yeah. And Spock has figured out that things are happening in the prison that are effect coming before cause because of the
Mhm.
wound on his hand. And nothing in life is guaranteed, quote unquote. That's a good one. Nothing in life is guaranteed.
Right.
And because Spock's saying, just trust me. He's saying, trust me. He's like, no, uh, well, we don't know. We don't know. And I'm like, really? Of all the people in the party, who is the most trustworthy, the most knowledgeable, the most calm,
Mm.
the most uh experienced in weird shit? It's Spock. Listen to Spock. For fuck's sake. Always listen to Spock. And so he asks for their trust. He asks for their trust and they give it to him. And because Christine is the one who opened the door, she's the one that has to open it again. At least that's what they figure. They put the illithid tablet back in there and they put a ring in there too that they found. And then they have to do the Indiana Jones leap of faith from yeah. Remember that one?
Yep. Yeah.
Where you don't see a
Uh,
path, but you
you
step
throw
out onto it and there's the
Yep, send.
path.
Yeah, this is really odd because they step out onto the bridge at the same time. They really only have to step through the door in order.
Mm,
And so one of them can hold on to Chapel as she steps off.
hmm
And that way, if she doesn't make contact with the surface of the bridge, Lon could still be holding her and pull her back if her
hmm
foot just slips and falls. And they
Yeah.
don't do that. They walk side by side across the bridge. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, they were divided into twos when they
Right.
ended up in different places. So they kind of just went with that pairing, I
Yeah, but that
guess.
pairing's only necessary, it seems, when you're crossing a threshold. Is the bridge a threshold?
I don't know. That's the thing. There's so many things we don't know about this place and we'll probably never know.
Right.
And it's later that Spock gets the wound that he had earlier.
Right. Because he's
But
reaching under the desk and he stabs himself on something.
yeah. And yeah, they managed to walk out of there. And things though are not going well on Enterprise
No, they are
because
not.
Gamble has cornered Scotty, Sam, and Pelia.
Yeah, because he escapes by by taunting this guard about his dead mother
Yeah,
and
and then gets
chokes
him to
him
come close
through
enough.
the force field, which
Yeah.
shows a great amount of power.
Well, that's the thing. He didn't have to be in there. He could have
Yeah.
just not been in there, but he had a plan. He was biding his time. He wanted to inflict the maximum damage that he could while he was there.
Yeah, they're
If
chaos
there's
agents.
Yeah, if there's even a he and she of Vesda, I
Yeah.
don't know. So, it was nice seeing Sam again. It always freaks me out when I see D'Angelo with a mustache because I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
because you're
oh
used to
yeah,
seeing him from these Hallmark movies now, and so
yeah.
you see him in Strange New Worlds. It's like, oh yeah, the mustache.
It's like, oh yeah, I forgot that was you, which is actually a compliment to Dan Chanot for
Yep.
forgetting that he was Sam Kirk. So well done, Dan. You are cute as button, and that dark hair and the blue eyes really do it for me. I know
Hmm.
you're married with children, but you are hot as hell. Anyway, yeah. And the thing is that they're basically this Vesda is going to kill everyone that he can,
Yep.
but they manage to. I don't even know how to explain exactly what they do, but they get the Vesda out of Gamble's body.
Well,
Scotty basically cups it in a Pokeball.
Manga shoots him, or not
Okay, right.
Manga shoots him, somebody. And Manga offers to take the soul. Pelia shoots him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, because the body dies, the spirit of the Vesda is freed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Scotty takes a Pokeball, seals the spirit inside of it, puts it on a transporter, and shoots it into space or into the
No,
buffer.
into the
Into the
buffer.
buffer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he says, I sent it nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Also, can I just say how much I love a Scotsman?
Yep. And particularly this Scotsman. He's adorable.
He is he is so cute. And it's lovely to have an actual Scottish person playing Scotty.
Right.
It's really just the dream, to be
Mm-hmm.
frank. So yeah, and of course Pelia talks about how this thing is older than she is and like seriously ancient, and she's being all she's saying all these doom things, just
Well,
it's
yeah,
like,
she's saying that, well, Pike says that evil is relative, and
and she's
Pelia's
like,
like,
no,
no, there's true evil in this universe.
and
And
there's
it's
true good.
ancient, and it seeks to destroy us. This gets undermined too because she plays it to the camera like I could do it again to camera.
Yeah, she's
It's
like,
like, so
you
is
want
this a
another one for the
performance? Is
camera?
this something she actually believes?
It's something she actually believes, but she was being dramatic for the sake of being
Right.
dramatic.
Yeah, which kind of undercuts her message.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that this is Pelia all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
This is nothing new from Pelia. This is how
right,
she is. She's been alive for over 5,000 years.
right.
So, she just basically does what she wants.
Yep.
When you've lived that long, you just, you do what you want. But yeah, so that is the end of this episode.
Ta-da.
And we lost the best new medical personnel that we ever
Hmm.
had in one episode.
In one episode,
One
introduced,
episode.
killed,
Introduced and killed in one episode.
and then returns as a villain.
So good. And he will be back in the season finale,
Yep.
of course. Or is it the ninth episode? I think it's the ninth episode, and the 10th episode is when the big showdown finally is.
Mm,
So
yes.
um
It's essentially a two-parter.
it is. So it's wow. And then and I Corby doesn't say much after any of this.
No, but
So
he's still on the path to figuring out
immortality.
path to immortality. Yeah,
Yeah. And if you've seen Star Trek the original series, you know that doesn't go well for him.
right. Yeah,
So
that sort of obsession is unhealthy.
it is, because what are you pushing aside that you could be
Hmm.
doing that could be important to the world, or even just to yourself, or to your loved ones, or to the scientific community? There's so many things he wasted his energy on that
Right.
in the end ultimately means nothing. So, not a very bright archaeologist, in my opinion.
Nope. Just very narrow-minded when it comes to his research. He's looking for this one specific thing.
Yeah, he wants to live forever.
Yep.
I personally don't want to live
Nope.
forever because I'm going to get bored at some point,
Mm,
just like in The Good Place,
right.
season
Yeah.
finale, series
Yeah, it's like,
finale,
oh yeah,
rather.
this is great and everything, but I'm bored. I'm ready to call it quits and just
Yep,
stop being a thing.
yep. We're just becoming energy, and then that energy is
Yep.
reconstituted into something else.
Yeah, it's parinirvana, I guess. Just becoming one with everything so that
Yep.
you just get your energy gets redistributed throughout the universe and you cease to be an ego.
Indeed. Ooh, this episode is kind of a doozy.
Yeah, a bunch happens here and a lot of setup for what comes later.
Yes, but that's actually a smart thing because it's kind of been. I mean, they tease us with this at the beginning of the episode, with Roger Corby actually showing up,
Right.
and the thing is that everyone who knows Star Trek: The Original Series knows Corby's end, but it's but his actual end is never shown on this actually the episode. He's already dead at the time that
Mm,
they meet Corby in quotation marks, because at that point he's a robot.
right.
So yeah, I lost my train of thought. It doesn't matter. So yeah, I guess it is time then to figure out what we're doing next.
Did we talk about Uhura or Beto using the little iPad to figure out that they're in different phases of the
Oh, right.
timeline?
I forgot about that. Talk about that, Dave.
I think I just did. It's just that's how they figure out that they're all in the same room and they
Yeah.
use timey-wimey stuff to put the illithid, uh, whatever you want to call it,
Tablet.
stone tablet in place, and also the ring. So they make a little 3D puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
and that gets them the artifact that Corby tries to take with him, and they're like, nope, leave it.
Yep. Not taking it.
Nope. So let me pull up if I can get
Oh, yeah.
to the right thing. Let me
Right.
pull
And
up
I
the
need to
thing.
pull up the list.
964.
964,
Let's
964.
see.
I gotta get to the page I want. There it is.
Ooh, 800.
Ooh. I'm guessing that is probably
That sounds
in
like new
Discovery
Trek.
area.
Yeah, early new Trek, so probably Discovery.
I'm sorry, tell me again.
800.
Oh, straight up 800. See
Right
this?
on the button, 800.
Okay, 800. I have to write these things down, you see. Or it could be Prodigy. It's hard to
That
say.
would be nice.
Oh, it is Discovery. It
Right.
is season 3, episode 12. There
Ooh,
is
wait.
a tide.
There is a tide, and it will clean your clothing. And there is a NASCAR that has labels of it on it that drives around in circles.
And of
Tide
course,
is high, now
this is
moving
the
on.
season where they figure out uh how to fix the burn, sort of, or why the burn
Fix
happened, really.
the burn. Okay.
So,
Yeah,
ugh.
season three, which I like a lot. I like that each episode is like a different genre.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Discovery. It has so much variety.
hmm
And
It's like, oh, we're doing a prison break this episode. Oh, we're doing a Western this episode. Oh, we're doing a siege this episode. Oh, we're
yeah,
doing a fairy tale this episode. It's very cool.
yeah,
I like season three a lot.
it all mixes together,
hmm
and while being all these different things, but still continuing the storyline. And it's just frankly, I don't know why people hate it so much.
Well,
Probably because
it's
there's a black woman.
all right. Well, yeah. And it's
So
clever that you're talking about a fractured universe because of the burn, and there's fractured storylines because each story has a different feel to it, a different
yeah.
genre to it.
Yeah, well,
It
that's the thing.
reflects
They're
their fractured universe.
they're finding their place in the future, and
Uh-huh.
the future is fractured.
Yeah, and they're
So
the needle pulling the thread. So to tie it all together again.
Yep.
And so they're going through all these different fractured spaces in space,
What and
reason space.
the thing is, this is very clever because the thing is, they could not have done this without Discovery and the spore drive.
Right.
It is because of Discovery that they stopped the effects of the burn.
Yep. Because they weren't using dilithium, they were using the spore drive.
Yep. Well, dilithium is just, it's not a fuel source, it's a catalyst.
Right. Yeah.
So people make that mistake a lot. But anyway, so yes, more new Trek next week. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, we're getting some back-to-back new Trek, which is unusual.
yeah, it is. It is. I love it. I love me some new Trek. So Dave, do you have anything you want to tell people?
Oh, what do I want to tell people? Well, we talked about Happy Death Day, so watch that. Find me as DJ Evil Dave across all places on the interwebs. That includes Hear This, where you can find the MP3 just for straight up streaming or download. I'm on YouTube, Tumblr, Blue Sky, Bandcamp. If you want to find out what I've been listening to, Bandcamp Friday was just recently. I picked up 3 more albums. So, yeah, mostly I'm on Blue Sky, and what I do, I usually link from there. So, yeah, DJ Evil Dave.
Excellent. I have a couple of things that came out recently. One of
You
them
do?
is Podcast 616 with my good friend Ashley, my sister from another mom and mister.
Mhm.
That's what we say. Our sister from another mom and mister. She and I talked about Daredevil Born Again season 2 episode 5, which is that was an amazing episode for me to be able to guest
Yeah,
on.
that's a major one.
It
That's a
really is.
big episode of this season
Yeah.
of Daredevil. There's a
I
lot going on.
I lucked out on that one. So grateful that she chose me. And so you can find that on your podcatcher of choice. Remember, it's podcast
Podcatcher.
616. And then also my episode of Positively Trek Comics is up as well that I do with Dan. And we talked about the, for as far as we know, series finale of issue of Lower Decks, which was episode issue 18, and also the first issue of the new Starfleet Academy series. And the Starfleet Academy series is interesting. It felt a little short, but I think we're going to get a lot more in the next issue. And honestly, I don't know what else is happening in May as far as Star Trek comics besides Starfleet Academy.
Yeah,
So
I listened to that episode recently, and I think there's only like 2 comics coming out
well, I know
this
I
month.
can't remember what Dan said they were. So,
Yeah.
but I know it's the celebration one of LGBTQIA plus couples, and
Okay, so there should be a lot of Discovery represented.
there should be a lot of Discovery. There's some that are just straight from the comics.
Right.
And I loved the one they did last year, so I'm sure I'll love the one that they do this year.
Cool.
And yeah, so there you go. So, okay, everybody, that's it for the show. And thank you for being with us and being patient with my inability to say Gamble's name right.
Gamble.
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 Gamble. Procter and Gamble.
Gamble.
Gamble. Anyway, we will talk to you next week. And in the meantime, do the things, fight fascism and fuck ice and live long and prosper.
Indeed.
Goodbye.
Boy.
Starfleet.
Starfleet.